Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, a local attorney, and what you're about to watch is pretrial. Now, pretrial is the third court event in the process towards resolving a criminal case. The first was first appearance, the next was arraignment. Now we have pretrial to determine if the case is ready to proceed to docket day and potentially trial, or if it can't be worked out through plea or even dismissed. At pretrial, though, facts are not as important as they are in other hearings. In this case, it's procedural. The judge is going to bring in their entire docket to make sure that the attorneys are doing what they need to do to get the cases towards a just conclusion. Some of the cases you'll see are older, some are newer. On the older ones, you may see some tension as the judges are trying to make sure the cases are moving forward, but the stakes are getting high. So that's what pretrial is. Let's go see what happens.
All right. Well, I'm glad that you joined us here for this afternoon's session down at the Okaloosa County Courthouse in Fort Walton Beach near the fairgrounds. Afternoon going to begin. We've made it about halfway through the 535 defendants that were on the docket for this morning. Want to remind you to tune in Thursday. We have a trial in Crestview that we're going to do on Thursday. That'll be pretty interesting. Haven't done a trial for a while. And if you're a first-time viewer or you're a long-time viewer and you have not already connected or, subscribe to our YouTube channel, there you go. Subscribe to the YouTube Okaloosa Court TV channel. I'll tell you one reason why. Facebook gives me problems pretty consistently. People complain about what we're doing and they don't like it, and then Facebook sends me a warning and says, you've violated this or violated that. And they've never really cut me off, but I would not be surprised if one day you tune in and we're not here for some odd reason. So I can tell you that the YouTube channel does very, very well, and we get a lot of viewers there and people like it. You can comment there. You can post whatever you want. That is on the Okaloosa Court TV YouTube channel, and if you'll subscribe to that, that'd be a big help to us. So that's it for now. They're looking at me like I'm talking too much, too loud in the courtroom, so we're going to go stand by. Judge John T. Brown should be entering the courtroom momentarily.
be adjudicated guilty of the felony, possession of cocaine, and you'd be sentenced to time served, and you'd have to pay those costs within 6 months after your release from jail. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me or Mr. McKinney?
No, sir.
Mr. Williams, I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty. You're sentenced to credit for time served. You'll need to pay the court cost and the $150 public defender's fee. If you fail to pay those within 6 months after your release from jail, then they'll go to a civil lien or judgment, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you, sir.
And thank you to the Washington County Jail, and thank you, Investigator Rolling, for making that happen.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Thank you again. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. Okay, now, Mr. Koch.
Yes, Your Honor. We call Ms. Tina Robinson, who's present.
Ms. Robinson?
This is going to be dicey.
Your Honor, we're here in two cases. It's 22 CF 1341, 23 CF 1872, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
For the 22 CF 1341, Your Honor, if we could set this for trial, place it on the docket day.
Wait, hold on. Which one?
It is the older case, the 22 CF 1341.
Okay. So, Ms. Robinson, on that case, that means that I'll see you back here a week from today at 9 o'clock. And we'll be talking about going to trial in a couple weeks, okay? Okay, so on the other case?
And Your Honor, if I could just briefly address the 22 case, I did submit a defense witness list. My client, who's present today, is trying to gather up-to-date contact information so I can update that witness list with physical addresses. Can I have till, we have docket day on Monday, could I have to the end of business day Thursday to amend that witness list to update it with all the contact information?
Your Honor, how are we supposed to depose people if we don't have accurate contact information?
Right.
I mean, this case has been outstanding for a long time. If he adds witnesses, I'm going to move to exclude them. I'm just letting him know. We've been sitting out here for a long time. We gave her an opportunity to go out west to handle with her family. This should have been handled way long before this. So I'm just putting the court on notice that if he tries to use some of these witnesses, I'm going to move to exclude it.
Okay.
If I could just briefly respond.
Yes, sir.
My client, she maintained contact with my office. She scheduled office conference with me, came into my office. She has been dealing with ongoing family issues, but she still comes to my office, and she gave me some witnesses, and I did tell her, addresses and phone numbers for everybody. And there's some complete ones on the witness list, but others just, I don't have it. That's why I was asking. Absolutely. If I could
Mr.
get...
Koch, I'm not going to grant your
Okay.
oral motion for that.
Yes, Judge.
I'll play whatever hand y'all deal me as far as motions in writing and notice the other side.
Yes, Judge.
But respectfully, I'm denying that.
Yes, Your Honor. And then in the 23 CF, the 1872,
Yes, sir.
if we could set that also on docket day for a plea or continuance.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
So, Ms. Robinson, I'll see you a week from today at 9 o'clock, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll probably be upstairs, but definitely Monday.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And Judge, Ms. Katrina Smith, there she is, present and approaching, Your Honor.
Good. Hello, Ms. Smith.
Yes, Your Honor. This is in 23 CF 1133.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. My client does live in New Jersey. This was, if you recall, during last docket day in January. Virtually, my client appeared, and I told her I needed her to come down here. I have videos for her to watch. She did not set up an appointment to come see me to look at those videos. I'd ask the court if we can, because my client does not want to accept the offer, if we could put this on docket day as plea or trial, and I'll instruct my client now if she can call, schedule an appointment. I can squeeze her in this week to come to my office because I want to watch those videos with her in my office. But as it lays right now, if we put it on plea or trial for Monday.
Okay. So, Ms. Smith, what that means is that I'll see you back here a week from today at 9 o'clock, and we're heading toward trial in a couple weeks. So you need to really stay in touch with Mr. Koch. You need to go look at those videos. You need to do everything where your mouthpiece to the court and to the jury, Mr. Koch can be up to speed to help you, okay? So I'll see you a week from today at 9. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Smith, the trial would be the week either of March 25th or April 1st. That's where we're heading.
It's just I have a baby on April 2nd, but I'm not going to be able to stay here for 3 weeks. That's why, I couldn't come last week because he told me that I would have court today and May 18th. So, I can't stay in the state of Florida for 3 weeks. That's why I'm trying to see if he can go ahead and schedule the trial.
I don't have any trials until March 25th. Okay, so I'll see you on Monday.
In person.
Yeah.
And then after they call my office, schedule an appointment because we got to look at those videos.
Thank you, ma'am.
This morning, I got Timothy Seifert, who is present on virtual.
Mr. Seifert.
Timothy, if you can unmute yourself.
Yes, sir, Mr. Koch.
Hey, thank you. And Your Honor, this is in 23 CF 405.
Yes, sir.
Judge, if we could set this for docket day, it's going to be a plea or continuance. This is very close to a PTI offer to get resolved. So at the end of the line, if we could put it on the Monday.
Okay. Mr. Seifert, I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock, okay?
Via Zoom, sir?
Yes, sir, via Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That was plea continue?
Yes.
Okay.
Out of custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. McKinney, out of custody?
Yes, Judge. I have Aubrey Hawks, followed by Leo Tinsley. Ms. Hawks is before the court 24 CF 45. Received discovery on Friday, and I'd like to continue the case. I'm going to be coordinating with her co-defendant attorney to set depositions in the matter.
Okay. Got it. Ms. Hawks.
Aubrey Hawks.
Okay. So what did you say, plea continue?
Full continuance.
Okay. Ms. Hawks, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
You understand what Mr. McKinney's doing on your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll see you back here on May 13th at 9 o'clock. If the state offers you something that you want to accept before that date and you want to avoid all those people that were here this morning, you can enter a plea before then. Mr. McKinney can set up a hearing, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Judge, this is Leo Tinsley before the court in 23 CF 1393.
Thank you. Hello, Mr. Tinsley. Good. How
To
are
bring
you?
the court up to speed, we did work out a PTI offer in this case. We went back and forth with the state, and Mr. Tinsley reviewed that document, took it over to Ms. Varese with the probation office to review the terms with her. Based on her instruction that, from what my client tells me, that it sounds and is probation, but it is not. He's indicated that he doesn't wish to do that based on the discussion he had with Ms. Varese.
Okay.
That puts me in a position where it's a PTI offer for Mr. Tinsley, but the case is ripe for trial. So if there's not going to be an acceptance to the PTI terms, then I would proceed forward to trial.
Okay. So plea trial? Or
Yes,
just
sir.
trial?
Yes, sir. And I would imagine if we move past today that the state could revoke the PTI that they had offered Mr. Tinsley, which was minimal terms, only to have no contact with the alleged victim and pay a total of $250.
Okay. So, Mr. Tinsley, all that stuff's being said for your benefit. You know, my job is to make sure that you know as much about your case as I can, at least procedurally, in what's going on to the state. Is there any offer that's open to Mr. Tinsley today that if he fails to accept it, you're going to withdraw it?
I believe the offer today would have been the PTI.
Okay.
I don't know how to beat that offer, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So pretrial intervention, it's a diversion program. It goes around this court. If you successfully complete it, then your case is dismissed. Do you understand that's what the offer is from the state?
Yes, sir.
And you don't want to take that?
No, sir.
Okay, you want to go to trial?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's certainly your right. Okay, so I will see you a week from today at 9 o'clock.
Monday? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And then we'll be heading toward trial at the end of this month.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Lisa Walker, followed by Casey Walters on Zoom. Walker was here all morning with her mother. May I call that just a moment? Doesn't appear that she's in the
Sure.
courtroom.
Yes, sir.
I do have Casey Walters in 23 CF 1976. He is present on Zoom.
Mr. Walters, if you'll, there you go. Good, thank you.
Mr. Walters lives in Texas. So we have been going back and forth on, the state has made an offer to Mr. Walters that would effectively be to constructive possession, which would be a probation offer from the state. I'd like to go back and forth, since me and Mr. Walters are trying to get on the same page as far as understanding exactly what the offer is and what it entails since he's out of state. I would ask that the court allow us to leave that on docket day, plea, or continue to see if we can work out that agreement. If we do not reach an agreement, then this would be a trial next time type situation.
To the state.
Quick question, Jason.
Keep in mind you're on the record.
Huh?
Keep in mind you're on the record, no attorney-client privilege.
Yeah, I understand that. I was just saying, like, if I was to take the probation, could the charge be dismissed or taken off my record once I complete probation?
No, sir, that's not typically how it works, but I'd like to keep our phone conference on Friday to talk about that in more detail.
Yeah, because I'm ready to just get the ball rolling.
Yes, sir, I understand.
So you're seeking plea continue?
Seeking plea continue, which would be 3/18 on Monday.
And any objection from the state?
Not on the plea or continue, but this cycle we're on right now, that offer is open, and it's a generous offer. So if it's not accepted on 3/18, it won't be available any longer.
Okay, so Mr. Walters, your homework is stay in touch with Mr. McKinney, one, and then the second thing is figure out whether it's in your best interest to accept the state's offer, because they intend to withdraw it a week from today, okay? So just be ready for that in a week.
Jason.
Yes, sir. You want to keep your phone conference with me on?
I'm gonna take it. Like, I ain't even trying to waste no more time. I'll take the 2 years probation.
That is certainly your right to do that, or we could keep our phone conference on Friday and enter that on Monday. That is your choice, sir.
So it's 2 years probation? That's what the offer, is he going to come here and sign that plea agreement? How are you going to do that? You're going to get him to sign it and then present it to the court, and then I'll talk to him via Zoom?
I'd like to go
Monday?
through all the details on how that works with Mr. Walters so that he understands all the nuts and bolts for that.
Good.
Mr. Walters, if you could potentially enter a plea right now, but if the court were to accept it, then you would have to report to probation in Florida. And there's moving pieces there that we can't just handle right here, right now on Zoom.
Mr. Walters, I'm not going to accept a plea over Zoom for what your probation is. If Mr. McKinney, if you want to enter that plea, Mr. McKinney will send it to you in writing. You read through it, you go through it, you sign it. Mr. McKinney can hand it to me on Monday, and then you and I can talk about it. So I'll see you Monday at 9 o'clock via Zoom, unless you physically want to be here, okay?
Mr. Walters, Mr. Walters, listen for a second. Make sure that my assistant, and I know that you have good contact with, make sure she has a good email address, because I'm going to email you the plea agreement for us to review. And then that's something we can discuss on Monday.
At some point in time, he
Okay,
will be here.
probation, this
Correct.
voice, the next voice is probation. Yes, ma'am?
Okay, I was just making sure at some point he will be here. We obviously have to transfer him with him here
Correct.
to Texas.
What was that?
Probation says that you can't transfer your supervision to Texas until you physically come to Florida and get the paperwork from Florida.
I'll discuss all that with you, but step one is getting the plea agreement to you, going through that with you, and then talking through the terms of how that works.
All right.
Okay?
Thanks, Mr. Walters. I'll see you in a week.
All right. Monday?
Monday, 9 o'clock. Thank
All
you.
right.
Lisa Walker is present in the courtroom now.
Good.
Ms. Walker is approaching in 23 CF 2470. And Judge, we have been working towards an agreement that would include treatment for Ms. Walker. I can inform the court that as far as procedure goes, there is no additional discovery work that needs to be done. So I am going to ask for this to be recalled on Monday in hopes that we can have the agreement in place by then. But there is no additional work that needs to be done on the defense side.
Okay. So is the state ready to go to trial on Ms. Walker's case if she doesn't accept the plea?
Yes, we'll send out subpoenas.
Okay. So, Ms. Walker, I'll see you here a week from today, Monday, at 9 o'clock. If it's not resolved then, if you don't accept what the state offers you, if you don't think it's in your best interest, then we'll be heading toward trial, okay?
All right.
Thank you, ma'am. Stay in touch with Mr. McKinney.
James Ward. Mr. Ward is approaching 23 CF 1151.
Hello, Mr. Ward.
And Judge, I've discussed with Mr. Ward the amended offer from the state, which is a probation offer. He's indicated that he wishes to discuss that further with me. So I'm going to ask that we bring this back on docket day, plea or continue, to give him the opportunity to come meet with me at the office.
Okay. Is there any additional work that needs to be done on the case?
No, Judge.
You got the FDLE?
On one of the two counts, which was the reason for the negotiation, there's two possession-controlled substance counts. FDLE's back on one of them.
Okay. Is the state ready to go to trial on Mr. Ward's case?
I'll get with FDLE today and expedite that on the first count, and then we can go.
Okay, so we're going to say plea trial?
That'd be fine.
But keep in mind that Mr. Ward is telling me that he wants to take the probation agreement, but he wants to just talk to me more about it.
Okay.
So, Mr. Ward, I'll see you a week from today at 9 o'clock. If it's not resolved then we'll go to trial. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Miranda Webb, followed by Christopher White.
Hello, Ms. Webb.
This is Miranda Webb in 23 CF 517. And Judge, I've been in discussions with the state. I'm unsure if the state has an announcement in this case or if we're leaving it on the docket.
I was writing on the last one, Judge.
Miranda Webb.
Okay.
Hello, Ms. Webb.
So, based on correspondence we've had with the alleged victim in the case, he's indicated that he didn't wish to proceed and that he did not have any outstanding restitution, that his property was returned,
Okay.
and that he didn't want to be involved or go forward. So based on that, we wouldn't be able to move forward with the trial. So the state would dismiss the case today.
Okay. Ms. Webb, your case is dismissed. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Christopher White, followed by Lakeisha White. Judge, this is Christopher White before the court in two case numbers, 23 CF 2871 and 24 CF 17. I did discuss with Mr. White the state's offer, which is a probation offer. This is a new case, two new cases, so I'm going to request a full continuance
Okay.
so that I could review the discovery with Mr. White, and if we reach an agreement, we can add this on to an earlier docket.
Good. Mr. White, you agree with that? Yes, sir. I'll see you back here on May 13th, okay? Thank you, sir.
9 a.m.
9
Thank
o'clock,
you.
May 13th.
Okay. Lakeisha White. Ms. White is approaching in 23 CF 1772. Judge, she did enter into and complete the 90-day mental health diversion program. That doesn't really do a whole lot on the legal side of things other than delay the case. So I'm going to be requesting a continuance today so that I can meet with Ms. White, review her case with her, and determine whether or not we need to complete depositions or not.
Okay. Ms. White, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here on May 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. McKinney.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jason Wilson, followed by Johnny Young. Judge, this is Mr. Jason Wilson before the court in 23 CF 2173. Judge, we have been continuing Mr. Wilson's case. This is a driving while license suspended in hopes that Mr. Wilson can make efforts towards getting his valid driver's license because it is monetary only, that he is trying to pay off old tickets. He wants me to request one last continuance from the court. He's waiting on his tax returns in hopes that he can apply that and walk into court with a valid license because he's hoping that will make a happier state attorney if he's able to do that. So I would ask for one last continuance, understanding that I would not be asking for another.
To the state, any objection to a last continuance?
No, sir.
Mr. Wilson, I'll see you back here on May 13th at 9 o'clock, unless hopefully you resolve it before that day.
Hopefully before then.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay. Brentley Wright. I don't see Mr. Wright in the courtroom. So Johnny Young.
That's Brindley Andrew Wright.
Yes,
Good.
Judge, and he's been here all morning. I might ask to recall him. This is
Okay.
Johnny Young.
Good, thank you.
Johnny Young is present before the court in 23 CF 1302. Judge, we have been negotiating with the state, and I'm going to ask the state to leave the offer open until docket day. He has employment, he works at night, and I want to make sure drug offender probation is not going to negatively impact that. As long as we can work out the terms for that, then we'd be in a position to plea on Monday. So I think plea or continue would be sufficient.
Okay. Mr. Young, I'll see you a week from today at 9.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Mr. Wright's present in the courtroom.
Good.
You okay? Yeah, no problem. That's all right. Judge, this is Mr. Wright before the court in 23 CF 2340. We are going to be requesting a full continuance because we need to schedule and complete depositions in his case. We've been able to get that scheduled and set.
Okay. Mr. Wright, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here on May 13th at 9.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
This is Brentley?
This
Correct.
is Brentley Wright.
Perfect, okay. And that's 318.
Correct.
No, that's
Three.
going to be full
5.
continuance to May.
Oh, May 13th, okay.
And I'm going to make sure that we have all the body camera footage from Fort Walton, because I'm going to seek that before we do the depositions. What was your questions?
Hold on. Yeah. Plea continue, right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, I believe that's the matters I have
Okay.
in the audience.
Okay, so we have other folks in the gallery. We've got folks on Zoom. Any other defendants,
I do, Your Honor.
okay, that are present? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Jacob, thank you. And then we'll take the folks in the jail.
And, Your Honor, just for Madam Clerk's information, William Blythe, 23 CF 1937, she already did that minute sheet, but he's actually in custody. He got arrested last night. So he'll be seen on video. So I just want to make sure that she could pull that. And we'll be requesting to withdraw the KPS, obviously, based on that.
Okay.
And then, Your Honor, I have Tyra Booker I wanted to readdress in 24 CF 177.
Yes,
So she wasn't notified that her case was transferred, and she assumed her court date was going to be 3/14. So if we could withdraw the capias and put her on the 3/14 docket, she does live out of town and is already planning to be here on the 14th.
Okay. So, Ms. Booker, the capias is withdrawn, and it's continued one cycle.
Just to the 14th here, March 14th.
Oh, March.
Yeah, she was already planning to be here for plea day in front of Judge Ketchel, but when they transferred it to this division, since we had already filed a written plea of not guilty, they just moved it directly to pretrial.
Okay, so why don't we do?
We could do plea continue.
Plea continue, and then a status on the 14th?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
If we can work it out for probation, she intends to plea, and I think we should be able to, so.
Okay.
Okay, that was Ms. Booker?
Yeah.
And that's gonna go 3/14?
3/14, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, thank you.
And then finally, Your Honor, I have Jamaica Youngblood. She is present and approaching. And Your Honor, if you recall, I carried Miss Youngblood over from this morning because I knew she had been in contact with her office and wasn't here. Her case number is 23 CF 2552. Your Honor, I don't have an offer in this case yet, but I also think we probably need to set just some depositions. I'm going to be requesting a continuance. This is the first time it's been up.
Okay. Ms. Youngblood, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, I do.
You understand what Ms. Jakowitz going to do on your case?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'll see you back here on May 13th at 9.
May 13th at 9
Yes,
9
ma'am.
a.m.?
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I just got your discovery. So I'll go ahead and talk to you about it.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay. So to the jail, it's my understanding that we're doing the two
Cool.
interpreter cases?
Neat.
Teresa? Okay. Yes, sir. So Joe, we'll do one of the interpreter cases right after this case. But if you can get those two set up, that'd be great. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, working on it right now.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Morales, and he's got two cases, 23 CF 1936, 22 CF 2511. That is a violation of probation based on the allegation in the 1936 case. I talked with Mr. Gomez. I believe the state's going to have an announcement on that 1936 case.
Yes, Your Honor, this time the state's going to be announcing dismissing the 1936 case, Your Honor.
Okay, so 23 CF 1936 is dismissed.
And Mr. Gomez, is the state going to dismiss the VOP?
Yes, and dismiss the VOP. That's because of that, Your Honor.
Good, Mr. Morales. So the VOP is dismissed also, so my docket doesn't have anything else on it for you.
However, Devin, you are still under supervision until July of 2025, so report to Ms. Shelton before you leave. Okay? She's right there.
First row on the back.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Okay, jail, okay. Teresa, please. And who represents this defendant? Mr. Koch?
Buenas tardes, señor Rivera. Mi nombre es Teresa. Yo le voy a servir de intérprete.
Yes, sir. Mr.
Yes.
Koch.
Yes, Your Honor. We're seeking a first-time continuance.
Sí, su señoría, estamos pidiendo continuar este caso
And ask for this case to be set to May 13th.
y estamos pidiendo que programen este caso para el 13 de mayo.
And I do want to inform my client that I'll be seeing him Wednesday with an interpreter. It's already scheduled.
Y quería informarle a mi cliente que ya tengo programada una cita para irlo a ver con una intérprete este miércoles.
And if I can, Your Honor, my client's family is present and they've been updated.
Y también quería decirle que los familiares de mi cliente están presentes y ya también le dimos esta información a ellos.
First, I'm glad that your family's here with us.
Primero, me alegra que su familia esté aquí presente.
Mr. Koch, so you're asking for a continuance of the case until May 13th?
Señor Koch, entonces está pidiendo que continuemos este caso hasta el 13 de mayo.
What are you going to do on the case between now and then?
¿Qué va a hacer en este caso de ahora hasta esa fecha?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll be reviewing discovery with my client in the jail.
Voy a revisar la evidencia que tengo en el caso de mi cliente en la cárcel
And scheduling depositions, Judge.
y tengo que programar declaraciones juradas.
Your motion is granted. I will see your client back here on May 13th at 9 o'clock.
Le voy a otorgar su moción y lo veo otra vez aquí el 13 de mayo a las 9 de la mañana.
Thank you, Jail. Then you have one more that needs an interpreter? Yes, Mr. Client.
Buenas tardes, señor López-Rodriguez. Mi nombre es Teresa y le voy a servir de intérprete.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Lopez-Rodriguez.
Buenas tardes, su señoría. Este es el señor López-Rodriguez.
Raphael, I'm coming to the jail on Wednesday afternoon to talk to you.
Rafael, voy a ir a la cárcel este miércoles en la tarde para hablar contigo.
Your Honor, I do believe that we're going to be really close to a resolution. If we could put Mr. Lopez-Rodriguez on for Thursday morning in anticipation of a plea.
Su señoría, creo que vamos a poder resolver este caso bien pronto en el caso del señor López-Rodriguez. Si por favor lo podemos programar para este jueves 14 a las 9 de la mañana.
So I'll set the underlying case for a plea continue, but I'll put it down for a status conference this Thursday.
Well, I would like him transported, because if this is going to be a plea, as I hope it will be, we're talking about a year in county jail.
Me gustaría que transportaran a mi cliente y que esté aquí presente este jueves.
Mr. Clines, I think other than this hearing date, everybody's transported.
That's correct. When you said status, I'd take that as defendant's not necessarily being here, so I just want to make sure the jail has them on the transport list first.
Sí, esta es la única audiencia donde los acusados comparecen vía video. El resto de las audiencias van a ser en persona. Sí, su señoría, solamente me quería asegurar que él va a ser transportado para aquí el jueves.
So I'll see you on Thursday.
Nos vemos el jueves aquí, señor López.
Thank you, sir.
And I'll see you on Wednesday.
Gracias. Y nosotros nos vemos el miércoles en la tarde con su abogado.
Okay, so anyone else that is a defendant? Okay, good. Thank you. Hello, Ms. Lockman. If you'll unmute your microphone, Ms. Lockman. Asking you to do that. There you go. Good, perfect.
Your Honor, this is Ms. Lockman. We are going to announce we're ready for trial, and if we could pass Ms. Lockman to jury review the morning of.
Okay, is the state ready for trial on Ms. Lockman's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so my dad, the state was supposed to get their position on my dad, and my dad's been waiting for the phone call, and my dad hasn't received it. So when I talked to my dad yesterday, he's like, I've been waiting for the state to call because Mr. Klein said, you know, that the state was going to call my dad, and they never did. So my dad's like, I don't know what's going on. It's been going on for a year, you know, what's going on?
Well,
he's like all mad.
Ms. Lockman,
We're ready for trial. And so he's like has no patience, and he's like waiting by his phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Like that.
Okay, Ms. Lockman, so let's let Mr. Kleins answer your question.
So, Ms. Lockman, if somebody is listed as a witness, it is not required that their deposition be taken. I know in January the state had indicated they wanted to take the deposition. Maybe they changed their mind. It doesn't mean your dad cannot testify at the trial, though.
Okay, I mean, my dad's just an older man, and like, I just need to know for him what's going on, you know what I mean? So I can keep up to date with him, like, hey, we're getting a phone call, and hey, we're gonna go to this, because, you know, he's like 85,
Okay.
and he's just,
What?
you know.
Well,
Yeah,
Tiffany,
I know my dad.
I will call your dad either tomorrow or Wednesday, okay? And then I'll talk to you, okay?
So
Yes, sir, I'll tell him that.
so it's going to be trial. Is Ms. Lockman going to be here physically a week from today?
I have instructed Ms. Lockman to be here physically on the 21st.
Okay, right, okay.
Yes.
So, Ms. Lockman, I'll see you a week from Thursday on the 21st at 9 o'clock, and we'll look at going to trial that next week or the week after that, okay?
Okay, so I'll be there, I'll go to Fort Walton on the 21st, and then, okay, I just need to know that. 21st at 9 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am, please. See you then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Can I hang up?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Koch?
Judge, I have 2 virtual and 1 present in the courtroom.
Please.
If I may.
Yeah.
Mr. Isaiah Soto, who's present and approaching, Your Honor.
Hello, Mr. Soto.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Good.
Your Honor, this is 23 CF 124.
Yes, sir.
And this is a pretrial intervention, I guess got kicked back, so it got placed on today's docket, Your Honor.
Okay.
My client does have some paperwork, and I told him I'm going to request this to be set to the May date and get back with the state. So
Okay.
if we could put this on the 5/13, and I will hand my client my card, Your Honor.
I really don't agree with that because it's just being kicked back because I did pay on time and I did complete this course, but I paid it and I completed it, so what is the point of continuing it?
Mr. Koch represents you, so if he can, give him all that ammunition, give him that information. If he, thinks that you have completed PTI, then he can bring it back before the court, and I'll rule on any motion that's put before me. I'll see you back here no later than May 13th at 9 o'clock. But again, if Mr. Koch says, hey, I want to set a hearing because my client really did fulfill PTI, he can set a hearing for next week, and we'll have a hearing on that, and then I'll decide. Okay? Thank you, sir.
So call, make an appointment. Your Honor, I have Ms. Amanda Pitts present virtually. Ms. Pitts, if you can unmute, or if you're driving, safely pull over.
Hello, Ms. Pitts.
And this is the 23 CF 1301, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, since last pretrial, we still have the outstanding FDLE report. There still hasn't been an FDLE report submitted.
Who is this?
And this is Amanda Pitts.
So you're seeking a continuance?
Judge, I don't know if the state has a note on this, if you want to
Amanda
put it
Pitts.
on the Monday date.
No, I mean, if you don't have a no, then no. I would rather just have a continuance or waiting for FDLE, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Ms. Pitts, your case is continued until May 13th at 9, okay?
May 13th, yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you. I'll be in touch, Mr. Cox.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. And,
All right.
and Your Honor, I also have a Mr. Taylor Rodriguez on the virtual. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, I saw you unmuted. Judge, this is in 23 CF 2538. This is the second time up. I did receive videos. I'm requesting a continuance, and if I can instruct my client, I really need you to schedule that appointment or reschedule. I know you tried, because this case I'm asking to get continued to May 13th.
Okay. Mr. Rodriguez, so you need to stay in touch with Mr. Koch, and I'll see you back here on May 13th at 9 o'clock, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, that's all I have present in the courtroom. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So then the inmates to the, who is on QVW, Walton County Jail, I guess? QV2, is that, whose client is that? Before we get to the Okaloosa County Jail. To the Walton County Jail, who do you have with you? To the Walton County Jail, who are you?
Darius Grant.
Thank you, sir.
Judge Hughes, represented by Jim Keach.
Okay, and what did we do on that case? Hold on one second. Your attorney, Mr. Keach, showed up this morning. Did somebody cover for him, I think? Okay. Okay. So it's my understanding that your case will be heard on Thursday. Let me double check. Your last name is what? Grant? Good. Thanks, Mr. Grant. Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Grant, are you?
Judge, from what I understand, Mr. Keach set it for Thursday as like a placeholder docket day for this because he's not going to be here next week, but I believe it's been set for trial.
Okay. So, Mr. Grant, Mr. Keach will get in touch with you before Thursday, and then I will see you back here on Thursday at 9 o'clock. And you can appear via Zoom, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. And thank you to the Walton County Jail, thank you. Okay, to the Okaloosa County Jail, you've got the docket. Who's next?
We got Rodriguez, Bond, Durham.
Good, thank you.
Judge Jason McKinney on behalf of Maria Rodriguez Barnes, case number 20 CF 801. Really, we're set on the court for status today. There is outstanding discovery work that needs to be completed. We are attempting to schedule and depose the new medical examiner. I've been provided records in the courtroom today. I do need to review that with Ms. Rodriguez Barnes, and I would ask that the court set a status date. I believe there is a miscellaneous date on the 15th or the 18th of April. I've coordinated with Ms. Sandler with the State Attorney's Office that she's available either of those 2 days for us to have a scheduling conference as we start to get closer towards the trial date.
Okay, so Ms. Barnes, I'll see you back here on April 15th at 9 o'clock. You'll appear via Zoom, the same way you are now.
Judge, that would be a miscellaneous date since you'll be
You'll
here
be
in
live.
person?
Good. Ms. Barnes, you'll be here live in the Okaloosa County Courthouse on April 15th. And just the underlying case, I'm saying plea or continue, which sets it for a pretrial conference on May 13th.
And Judge,
But
I
I'll
guess
see you on April
procedurally,
15th.
my apologies, Judge.
Go ahead.
Procedurally, I'm asking for a continuance until the May docket, but I'd like
Yes,
the
sir.
status date on April 15th for everybody to be in the courtroom.
I agree.
So that we can make sure that we are on track to proceed forward.
Ms. Barnes, I'll see you on April 15th, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, this is Tammy Moore before the court in 23 CF 1607. Katie Jakewood on her behalf. Ms. Berrickman is the prosecutor in this case. Your Honor, the discovery in this case is quite frankly just very voluminous, and so I've finally gotten through most of it. I'm in a position now set to the depositions, but we're not prepared to really move the case forward right now. I've discussed all of that with Ms. Moore, and she understands what's going on, and I'd ask to continue this to the May docket.
Okay. Ms. Moore, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'll see you no later than May 13th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I know Ms. Berrickman is still muted, but she did tell me she didn't object, so
Okay, thank you.
I'll put that on the record. Thank you, Your Honor.
That's correct, Judge. We spoke last week.
Thank you, Ms. Barrett.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, then we have Ms. Melson, Mr. Cobb.
Jesus Christ. Hold on. What? Hold on.
Yes, sir. Jason Cobb on behalf of Ms. Melson. Judge, I just was recently appointed on this case. I went down to visit with her last Friday in the jail. I'm going to be asking for a continuance so I can get the discovery.
Okay. Ms. Melson, then I will see you back here no later than May 13th, but Mr. Cobb will stay in touch with you, okay? Thank you, ma'am.
Continue on.
Hey, that was hands down the best interaction, quickest interaction we've had. Yeah, that was great.
Hello, Ms. Selby. Okay, Ms. Shelby's represented by Mr. Nopes, who we don't have yet. To the jail, I think Mr. Nopes said this morning that he had some hour-long hearing somewhere and he was going to talk to y'all about putting his clients a little later, but I guess he didn't do that.
He called and told me about it too, but he didn't tell me about no more, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, he's not present in the courtroom, and I don't see him yet. Can we pass Ms. Selby and bring her back later?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Ms. Selby. Thank you.
We're going to have to bring her back in later. She's going to have to come back later, or we're going to carry it.
Mr. McKinney, I think you're next.
Judge, this is Carol Worley before the court in 23 CF 2527. I'm going to ask that this be left on docket day, plea or continue. I anticipate a report from Dr. McDonald prior to that court date.
Okay. Ms. Worley, I'll see you a week from today, okay?
That means we're going to come to court to be standing in court with the judge.
Turn that microphone.
Is it this one or is it that?
That's a
I
great
can never
point.
tell.
Okay.
Ms. Worley, can you hear me okay?
Here.
Okay. You're going to be in the courtroom with me on Monday, and then we'll probably sit down at some point between now and then. But you will be in court with Judge Brown on Monday, and we're hoping to have the report from Dr. McDonald by then.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll see you in a week.
This one's not ready for
Mr. Nettle. Mr. Nettle, this is Miss Lumis. Hello, Miss Lumis.
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you? Mr. Nettle, can you unmute your mic? Good.
Good afternoon, Judge. Are the inmates going to be brought to court next Monday for the docket day?
Yes, sir.
I need to have Ms. Loomis sign a release, medical release, so I can get some records. Our intentions, I believe, I'm speaking to Ms. Loomis, is to enter a plea to the court, and I'm trying to get some medical records to either justify a downward departure or seek treatment for her.
Okay.
I would ask to continue this to Monday, the 18th.
Okay, so you're not going to go see Miss Loomis before Monday? You're going to...
No, I most likely will. I wasn't seeing her yesterday.
Good.
I just want to make sure she's going to be in court next Monday. I'll bring the medical release to the jail for her to sign. I spoke to Mr. Gomez today. I'm going to try to get in contact with the treatment program, but I need to speak to Ms. Loomis to see if she wants to go that route.
Okay. Ms. Loomis, I'll see you a week from today, okay?
Yeah, I have one question, if it's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
How would I go about filing for a bond with you?
Mr. Nettle would have to be the one that would file for a bond. So he'll need...
I've already discussed the issue of a bond with her, Judge. We filed for a bond, you granted her a bond, and while she was out, she violated the one condition we put on her on that bond. And that's why I have been reluctant to file another bond motion, because she had a bond, a signature bond, and violated it.
Ms. Loomis, your attorney's just got to feel that he has justification for filing that motion that's under his oath. So you'll just need to talk to Mr. Nettle about it.
I've talked to him about 3 different grounds on reasoning why I would like to try to attempt to have your permission to file for a bond, and he just refuses. I've done it myself, so I don't know what to do or how to do without him filing it.
Right. You can't file one as long as he's representing you. So I'll see you a week from today. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Your name is?
Lori Kathleen Wysack.
Okay, Ms. Wysack, I think we're waiting on Mr. Nopes to appear. He's not in the courtroom. He had another hearing, so jail, if you'll hold Ms. Wysack until Mr. Nopes gets here and bring her back, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Kleins, I believe yours is next. Hello, Ms. Lester.
Hi.
Mr. Kleins is coming to the lectern.
Your Honor, this is Ms. Lester. She is in the process of being evaluated for competency. Based on that, we don't have a report yet, and based on that, I would ask the court to continue these cases to the 513 docket. Certainly, if we get an earlier disposition or report, we'll advance it on the docket.
So, Ms. Lester, that means I'll see you no later than May 13th, but I hope that I'll see you well before that date. When the report comes in, then Mr. Kleins will set a hearing, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
That right now, but yeah.
Hello, Ms. Moore.
Your Honor, this is Shannon Moore. Shannon, I'm still in negotiations with the state here. However, I did just, so the court's aware, I talked to Mr. Gomez just now. I believe that we can get Ms. Moore on the Thursday morning docket. And frankly, I would need time to prepare a written plea agreement. This would resolve 3 cases. So if the court would allow us to put Ms. Moore on for Thursday morning for entry of an early plea.
Okay. So, Ms. Moore, I'll see you on Thursday, okay?
Okay, sir, thank you.
Shannon, I'll see you on Wednesday, okay?
And I'm just going to do plea continue on the underlying case. Mr. Koch?
Yes, Judge. I have Miss Jessica Sierrale and also her last name. She has one case with you with Payne as the last name, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Judge, can we put all 3 of her cases for plea or continuance on docket day?
Okay.
This Wednesday, my client is probably going to sign into drug court for all those 3 cases. If not,
Good.
I'd like to set on Monday.
Ms. Sierrale, I really hope that you get into drug court because they have so many different tools that I don't have. If you're not accepted into drug court this week, then I'll see you a week from today, okay?
Who is this?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Where is that?
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, what was that defendant's name?
Sierrale, Searle, or Payne. It's both of those. Payne is also.
Oh, is it Jessica Payne?
Correct.
Okay, she should be in, Your Honor, on Wednesday.
Ms. Smith, hello.
Hey.
Mr. Cotton?
Yes, Your Honor. For Miss Smith's case, if we could put this on docket day for Monday for plea or continuance.
Okay, Ms. Smith, I'll see you in a week, okay? They'll transport you here to the courthouse.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bravo, God. Can you see me on number 27 and number 28 for
Mr. McKinney? Ms. Wiggins, hello.
Judge, Ms. Wiggins is before the court in 2 case numbers, 23 CF 2778 and 24 CF 10. We're making sure that she has a bed available at Oxford House before moving forward with a plea agreement for 2 years of probation. I believe that all we need to do is go through the final red tape on that. I'd like to bring her back on this Thursday in the morning for change of plea. So procedurally, I'd like to leave it on docket day plea or continue, but I'd also like to change a plea on this Thursday at 9 a.m. because I can get to the jail and hopefully we can get her out on probation.
Excellent. Ms. Wiggins, I'll see you on Thursday, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Before you walk away with Ms. Wiggins, have you met with Ms. Claw again related to the updated interview to make sure that you've got the bed space available?
Yes, they do have the bed still. They're waiting on me.
Okay, well then I will go through the plea agreement, get you to sign that, and then we'll be back in court on Thursday, and it should be a bars to bed situation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Lyles is next, Mr. Cobb.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Ms. Lyles.
Jason Cobb on behalf of Alicia Lyles, 2023 CF 2667. Judge, Mr. Gomez and I have discussed her felony case, and the state's agreed to offer her a plea to a misdemeanor resisting without violence versus the resisting with and to a time served plea deal. But I need to get that written up. Can I put on the docket for Thursday or Monday? Can I have that written up?
Mr. Cobbs, if it's okay with you, how about if I just talk to her orally about that?
That'd be great, Judge. We could do it today. That way she could go to drug court tomorrow, and then judge the court to determine whether or not he's going to let her stay in the drug court program.
Ms. Lyles, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. So, Ms. Lyles, here's what I understand, is that if you want to enter a plea today to a misdemeanor, the charge originally was a felony, but if you enter a plea to a misdemeanor, then you would be sentenced to credit for time served. Mr. Cobb, what would the adjudication be?
It'd be an adjudication.
Okay, so you'd be adjudicated guilty of a misdemeanor. You'd have to pay the court cost, pay the $150 public assistance fee, the attorney's fees, and I'd give you some period of time to pay that before it went to a civil lien, but then this case would not hold you in the jail anymore. You'd be waiving your right to a trial by jury. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me or Mr. Cobb or the state?
No.
Okay. Ms. Lyles, I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty of the misdemeanor. You'll need to pay the...
Resisting without violence, and then there's going to disturbing the peace, or disorderly conduct charge attached to it. You just want to go ahead and do that one too in time served?
Yeah, that's good. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. Cobb, do you by chance have that case number?
Yeah, it was 2023 CF 2667.
So I think we may have only filed on the resisting. We didn't file on the disorderly. So that's not outstanding. Yep.
So, Ms. Lyles, how long will you need to, misdemeanor court costs, Madam Clerk? Okay. So how long will you need to pay about $500, Ms. Lyles, once you get out?
At least a couple of months, because I am gonna have to get a job, so.
Okay, Ms. Lyles, if you fail to pay those amounts within 6 months after you're released from jail, then they'll go to a civil lien or judgment, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Mr. Cotton is who represents Ms. Walker. Do we do that case? Ms. Walker, I believe that Mr. Cotton attended this morning and said that he had... Okay. Ms. Walker, Mr. Cotton continued your case until May 13th, okay? So he'll come see you in the jail.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. May 13th.
Mr. Clines? Ms. Murray Swan?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I was just reading an email from the state. Ashley, the state wants to see if they can put your case on for Thursday morning. There's some Marcy's Law stuff that they need to look into, which is a legal way of saying they need to talk to the alleged victims in this case. They can't be in a position to offer a plea agreement until they comply with the requirements under the law. So best I can do is ask the court to put you on for Thursday morning and come see you at the jail on Wednesday afternoon.
Okay.
So, Ms. Murray Swan, your underlying case is plea continue, but I'll see you on Thursday, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. McKinney?
Judges, is Ms. Guzman-Arredondo before the court, and I'm going to ask for this to be left on docket day, plea or continue. I know that the co-defendant has a hearing scheduled for Thursday for an order to show cause. I'm not asking for her to be placed on the docket, but I will be present for that.
Okay.
I'd like to leave it docket day, plea or continue, in hopes that we can resolve the case.
Ms. Guzman-Arredondo, I'll see you a week from today, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Koch?
Yes, Your Honor. This is Ms. Sharman, who has two cases in front of you, Your Honor. In case number 23 CF 1665, Your Honor, there is still the outstanding FDLE. A motion to compel was filed back in January. This case is holding my client with no bond. I'm asking if we can put this for trial. And like I said, we do have that outstanding FDLE still.
To the state trial on Ms. Sharman's case?
Okay.
Okay. So, Ms. Sharman, that means I'll see you a week from today, and we'll be looking at going to trial at the end of this month, okay?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes,
May
ma'am.
I address you, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
I was told by an outside attorney, a family friend of ours, that if the state does not provide documentation within 6 months, that the case should be dismissed. It was not THC, there's no body cam footage that was submitted. I bought it at a vape shop, so I don't understand how I can be charged with a felony for something that I bought at a vape shop.
I know.
Well, thank you.
Hold on one second. Your attorney's
Thank you for
chomping
saying
at the
that.
bit to tell you something.
Ms. Sharman, if you could just not make any statements. Both your cases are set for Monday for trial. I have that motion. I'll see you Wednesday. We'll talk about it, but please don't make any statements. Your cases are set for trial.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We're going to set them both for trial,
Well,
though, right?
The
I'd stay good with that. Let's set them both.
2506, we could set it for trial too, Judge. I want to resolve everything, and I'm going to work with the state also behind the scenes.
Good, thank you. Hello, Ms. McGill. Is Ms. Jakewood on? Ms. Jakewood's here.
That's not Miss McGill.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. Are you Miss Munn?
She's Miss Robinson, I
Miss
believe. her name is.
Robinson.
Jessica Robinson.
What?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is awesome. How did we just get to this person?
Yes, Judge. This is Miss Jessica Robinson, 23 CF 1118. Your Honor, if we could set this for plea or trial.
Okay.
There's a, yeah.
And the case number is what?
It is 23 CF 1118
Okay.
for Ms.
State ready for trial on that case? Robinson, 23 CF 1118.
And, just to, if I may, Judge.
Who's the prosecutor first? Mr. Snell?
I'm gonna need a second, Your Honor.
Kelly.
Saying this is Jessica Robinson?
Yes.
That's not on the docket.
I don't have that on.
There's
the
a
docket.
Kelly Robinson on the docket.
Oh, if I may clear this up, this was a mental health court. It was on that docket, Your Honor, and when I saw Ms. Robinson last week, I checked our docket. It wasn't on there, and my legal assistant did notify your JA to make sure she was on the docket. She was a recent mental health court on that docket for a while, so we just got it back.
So yeah, it got added after the updated dockets by that clerk.
So to the state, do you want to put it down as plea continue for Monday?
That'll be fine. I didn't have it. I didn't bring anything.
I understand.
Yeah.
Ms. Robinson, I have to be fair to both sides, and I didn't have it on my docket either. I had to hand write it in, and so for me to look at the state and say we're going to trial, that's not fair. So I'll see you a week from today, okay?
For a plea day?
And
For which you
we'll figure out what everything's going on. They'll transport you here on Monday, and Mr. Koch will talk to you before that date, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hey, Rebecca. Judge, this is Rebecca McGill before the court. She's got case number 23 CF 2754. Your Honor, I apologize. There were some last minute wheeling and dealings because Ms. McGill also has a new case, and we're trying to get that resolved as well. Rebecca, can you hear me okay?
I can, yes.
Okay, so if you want to plead to both cases today, with your permission, I'm going to change that front page of the plea agreement you signed. The offer is 150 days county jail, but it'll be coterminous with your other sentence, so they'll end at the same time.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Your Honor, Ms. McGill did sign a plea agreement with me, but we didn't have that second case on there, but we had discussed it at the jail. So I've just typed up a new plea agreement. That new case number, Madam Clerk, is 24 CF 527, and it is one count of possession of a controlled substance. And Your Honor, in both cases, she'll be adjudicated guilty and sentenced to 150 days in the county jail with credit for all time served. They will be concurrent and coterminous. She'll have $515 in court costs and $150 cost of defense in the 23 CF case, and $615 and $100 cost of defense in the 24 CF case.
Okay.
May I approach? Sorry.
It has. Ms. McGill, if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down.
Thank you.
So, Ms. McGill, do you agree with everything that Ms. Jaquith just stated today on the record?
I do, so yes.
Do you understand that you're waiving your right to trials by jury?
I do.
Ms. McGill, I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty in count 1 of 23 CF 2754. Sentenced to 150 days in both cases, 150 days in the Okaloosa County Jail with credit for all time served. Both of those are to run concurrently, run at the same time. Both of them are coterminous. They end at the same time. They also end at the same time as your case number 23 CF 2754. Well, that's each other. It's not coterminous with anything else other than each other.
Just those two, Your Honor, and just for the court to understand it, this is a case that she got, there was something that was set back in June to FDLE, and the results just came back, and she picked up a new case. So she thought she was about done, and then the new case popped up, so we were able to work it out for that. So that's why it's like that.
Good. You have to pay the court costs and a total of $250 public assistance fee, attorney's fees. The court does award reserves jurisdiction for 90 days in order to determine the amount of restitution if the state files a motion or a petition. Anything that I've missed from Ms. McGill?
No, sir.
Thank you, Ms. McGill.
Thank you.
Rebecca, I'll email you, or I'll mail you a copy of that new plea agreement, so you'll have everything in writing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Ms. McGill, before you leave, Ms. Jaquith, how long does your client want to pay?
Your Honor, if you could please give her 6 months, I would appreciate that.
So, Ms. McGill, if you don't pay the financials within 6 months after you get out of jail, then they'll go to a civil lien or judgment.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Your Honor, this is Latoya Man. Latoya, I have not heard anything from the state in regards to what we talked about last week. All I can do right now is ask to continue this case. Your Honor, on February 23rd, one of the witnesses in 23 CF 2172 failed to appear. Actually, two of them did. One of them would be an officer, the other is an individual. We are in the process of rescheduling those depositions. I would ask the court to continue this one cycle to the 513 docket.
Thank you. Ms. Munn, first off, as I saw you just slide into the picture frame, also got a good smile. What Mr. Kleins is stating is saying that a couple of the folks didn't show up for deposition. Mr. Kleins is going to reschedule those, but he also knows that he can file a motion for the court to make people show up, to have different consequences if they fail to do that. So you aren't just held hostage to other people not showing up when they're supposed to, okay?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Kleins can talk to you about that. But I'll see you no later than May 13th, okay? Thank you, ma'am.
This is Chelsea Young. Ms. Young is before the court in 5 new charges, and there's 5 violations of probation. We are awaiting discovery in the new 5 cases. What I'd like to do is leave this on docket day, plea or continue. There is a 24-month suspended sentence in the violation of probation cases that I've discussed with the state, and we're trying to reach an agreement by Monday. So Ms. Young, that means that you'll be back in court on Monday, and then I'm going to try to come out and see you either Wednesday or next weekend, and depending on when I get some answers specifically on what the offer is from the state.
So, Ms. Young, I'll see you a week from today, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lumis.
Oh, wait. I downloaded the week.
Mr. Nopes is still not present, so we'll need to pass on Mr. Lucy until Mr. Nopes appears. Thanks, Mr. Lucy. Mr. Koch. Hello, Mr. Parson.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Mr. Koch?
Yes, Your Honor. We're hearing 3 cases, 2 VOPs and 1 being the new law. I'm seeking a first-time continuance in the new case, well, all 3, to set depositions and start reviewing discovery with my client.
Okay. Mr. Parson, I'll see you no later than May 13th, okay? Thank you.
Wait, I'm sorry, Your Honor, what?
That was Mr. Parson,
Okay.
May 13th.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Patel's not present. What did we do on Mr. Bay's case? Mr. Bay, Mr. Patel continued your case until, ma'am? Okay. That's, okay, I'm sorry, your name is what?
Patrick Medina.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Medina. So, Mr. Nopes' case, Mr. Medina, Mr. Nopes told me that he was going to be about an hour late. He hasn't shown up yet, so they'll pass you and bring you back this afternoon, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Rogers.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cobb.
Judge, this is Mr. Rogers present for the court in 2023 CF 1804 and 2022 CF 1342. I went down to the jail to see him on Friday, but every time I called, I guess they didn't get you, Mr. Rogers, but I'm in the process of scheduling depositions with the state on your new charge, and I'm going to be asking for continuance in the case.
Okay. So, Mr. Rogers, I'll see you no later than May 13th, okay?
Well, we were scheduled for March 22nd for my trial. And that's, I still want to go to trial. I don't want to continuance. I don't want to go to trial. I don't see what I've been here 7 months, and the last time we were in court, and you're up in front of you, Your Honor, he said he was going to put in for a bond hearing. That was 53 days ago, and I still haven't seen you for a bond hearing.
Yeah, well, you got a violation of probation.
That's why I don't have a bond. That's why for the bond hearing to set a bond on the VOP.
Okay, what about if we do this? Mr. Cobb, why don't I set it for plea continue for Monday, and we'll physically have Mr. Rogers here, okay? So, Mr. Rogers, I'll see you a week from today.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Hello, Mr. Gaynor.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? Good.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Gaynor. We are still in the deposition process. However, I did talk with the state, and I believe we would be asking the court to consider placing Mr. Gaynor's case on the afternoon of March 21st. We are in discussions about a potential issue regarding bond. And so I don't want to just pass this down the road, even though procedurally we need to. If the court would allow us to put this on, it would not be a lengthy appearance by any stretch of the imagination. I know the court's already said a couple of that afternoon, but if we could please put Mr. Gaynor's case on for the afternoon of March 21st at 2:30.
Okay. Mr. Gaynor, I'll see you on March 21st at 2:30, so I'll see you in a week and a half, okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir. Is it going to be just status, or you're going to file?
It's going to be a
motion?
status, but I think it'd be good to have him here. It's not going to be any contested hearing or anything like that.
Yes, ma'am.
No, it was my case.
Okay.
Your Honor, this is Randy Mathias.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good.
Mr. Mathias, good seeing you, sir.
Hey,
Good seeing you.
Randy, I did talk with the state, and the state would be okay with a time served sentence if you pled as charged on the felony case.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, Mr. Mathias has got this pending case, which I believe we're about to resolve. He also has a misdemeanor case that I have the terms if the court wanted to accept the agreement, or I can go to the jail and have him fill out an actual written plea agreement.
I'm fine with both of those.
Okay. So in 23 CF 2832, Mr. Mathias is going to enter a plea as charged. The agreed upon disposition is that he will be sentenced to time served. He would be adjudicated guilty, be assessed $615 in court costs and $150 in public defender fees. In case 24 MM 448, Mr. Mathias is going to be entering a no contest plea as charged. The agreed upon disposition for that is that Mr. Mathias will be placed on 11 months, 29 days of probation. He will pay $379 in restitution. Randy, that's to Walmart, right? Is that to Walmart, Randy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, $379 restitution to Walmart. He will perform 24 hours of community service, which can be bought out at $12 an hour. He can have no trespassing at the Walmart on Beale. There will be a $100 cost of defense, $270 in court costs. The probation in that case will convert to administrative probation upon the completion of all special conditions. And he would be adjudicated of that too. It's a felony, it's a misdemeanor case. Yeah. Yeah, it's with JCS, yes.
Okay. Mr. Mathias, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me God, I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Mr. Mathias, so did you understand everything that Mr. Klein stated today on the record?
Yes, sir, Mr. Brown, I do.
Do you agree to that?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you're waiving your right to trials by jury?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated. Have you previously been adjudicated guilty of a felony?
I have, sir.
Okay. I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty in both cases. On the felony case, you're sentenced to credit for time served. You'll need to pay the court cost, $150 public defender's fee. In the misdemeanor case, you'll need to pay the court cost, $100 public defender's fee. You're sentenced to 11 months, 29 days probation. That will be with JCS. Pay $379 in restitution to Walmart. Perform 24 hours of community service work. You may pay that off at $12 an hour. You have no trespassing at the Walmart on Beale Street in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. You'll need to pay those court costs. Your supervision will automatically terminate upon your completion of all of the terms of your supervision. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you, Mr. Mathias.
I would ask that those be just treated separately, and I would ask the court to give Mr. Mathias 9 months to pay those.
So, Mr. Mathias, you have 9 months to pay the court cost and the attorney's fees from the felony case. If you fail to pay them within that 90 days, they'll go to a civil lien or judgment. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. What does that mean exactly? 90 days to pay that, and if I cannot within 90 days, then what happens?
Then it would, there's a money judgment against you. The practical effect is that they may revoke your driver's license.
And also, Randy, final judgment interest rates are a little high, so you might want to go ahead and try to get that paid off as quick as you can.
Yes, sir. Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Scott. I love you.
Is that your pen? Would you like to
Mr.
try
Klein,
out
you're
these
right.
pens?
The new interest rate was over 9%, I believe.
Last time I saw the interest rates, I thought, wow, that's...
Yes, sir.
Judge, we have Mr. Gage Pritchard present, and he has 2 cases in front of him, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'm seeking to set this for Monday, plea or continuance. And Mr. Pritchard, in the new law violation, I did receive an F daily report. So I will be seeing you in court in person Monday.
Okay.
So, Mr. Pritchard, I'll see you also in court on Monday.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Judge, this is Mr. Hayward Reeves in 23 CF 2045. We had depositions with the alleged victim, Your Honor, who failed to show. I'm asking to set this for Monday for a plea or continuance. Allow the state time to reach out, see if they can make contact with the alleged victim in this matter.
Okay. Mr. Reeves, I'll see you a week from today, okay?
Your Honor, do you think I could get maybe a bond reduction or something like that? Because I've been in here for, 6 months, and I'm losing my house, I'm losing everything. And I mean, there's no victim, the alleged victim's not been contacted. I'm being held against my will. Not only am I being held against my will, but I'm under a Brady violation because the state has the drop charges affidavit that the alleged victim has filled out months ago, and they're withholding that information.
Okay, Mr. Reeves, hold on 1 second. Mr. Koch, do you intend to file a motion?
No, Your Honor, it's just no bond motion. I've never seen or heard of any kind of drop request from the AV. Me and the state, we were present at my office for depositions. The AV failed to show.
Okay, but you understand Mr. Reeves' frustration that somebody doesn't show up and he's still in jail.
Correct, Judge.
So talk to Mr. Reeves about that. Mr. Reeves, I'll see you a week from today, and you'll be brought to the courthouse, okay?
I'll be at the courthouse?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So there's no way I can get an ROR or bond reduction or anything like that?
Not this moment, no, sir. The state's got to be put on notice of anything, so I'll see you a week from today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And to the jail, just so you know, Mr. Nopes joined. Ms. Chickwit.
Your Honor, this is Shaquille Moon, and I have him for case number 23 CF 773. Mr. Kleins has a case with him also.
So, Your Honor, I believe that the holdup for Mr. Moon has been getting him possibly accepted into vet court. Shaquille, I talked to the state, and I have been advised by the state that they personally don't have any issues with you going to vet court. However, they have talked to the vet court personnel, and the vet court personnel has advised the state that they don't think that they have any services that they can offer you to fit your situation. I'm going to talk to the vet court personnel. For today, I want to ask the court to continue this to May 13th, but only because that's a definite court date, and I would expect to have you back in front of the court as soon as I possibly can if I can get you into vet court. Again, they don't have any issue with you going to vet court, but the people in vet court right now are saying, we don't know if we have any services that we could actually provide to him that would help him.
Understood.
And Your Honor,
Go ahead.
And Your Honor, just for the court's information, and Mr. Moon's aware of this, our case, my case with Mr. Moon is essentially resolved. It was essentially resolved and in the process of going into vet court when he got the case with Mr. Klein. So my case is just kind of tracking to get a global resolution.
Okay. So, Mr. Moon, I'll see you no later than May 13th, but if Mr. Kleins and Ms. Jaquit get something worked out with Veterans Court or with the state, they can set it for a hearing as early as next week, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Hello, Mr. McKinney.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Well, good afternoon, sir.
How are you doing, sir?
Mr. Klein?
Your Honor, Mr. McKinney has two cases, 23 CF 1857, 23 CF 2288. The state's current offer to resolve both of these situations is 14.2 months in the Department of Corrections. I have inquired if the state would be willing to consider a time-served resolution. At this point, they are not. All I can do is announce ready for trial in 23 CF 1857, and I will continue talking to the state, and if we get any sort of a resolution, I'll advance this on Thursday's docket, but I don't want to put it on there just because.
Right. So, Mr. McKinney, I'll see you a week from today, and then we'll go to trial. Mr. McKinney, you're trying to get my attention. You've got it.
Yes, sir. Can I go ahead and plead guilty to that case, Your Honor?
I'm sorry, I didn't. You can put your hand down.
Can I plead guilty to the test case, Your Honor?
Okay, well.
Number 6.
Okay, well then I will see you live here a week from today, and we'll talk about it.
What day was we?
A week from today, on Monday.
No, this Monday?
This coming Monday, a week from today, they'll transport you here to the courthouse, and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What day will it be?
I'll see you a week from today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Your Honor. Thank
You too.
Monday.
Judge, can I ask, did you hear him say that he just wanted a plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I'm just writing notes down, so.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Fine, maybe not soliciting.
Mr. Koch? Wait.
Yes, Your Honor, this is Mr. Brandon Roswell.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, if we could set both my client's cases for Monday for plea or continuance. And Mr. Roswell, I did receive that FDLA report. We won't discuss it now, but I'll see you this week. I'll set you for Monday. You'll be brought over to court.
Thank you so much.
So, Mr. Roswell, I'll see you a week from today.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Plea or continue?
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
Doing great.
Mr. Koch?
Judge, Mr. Danny Smith, we're here in the 23 CF 2411. I'm seeking a first-time continuance, Judge. My client also has a pending case, a 24 case that hasn't been filed on yet in front of you, and that's scheduled for 4/11 for arraignment.
Okay.
So for today, I'm seeking a continuance to the 5/13, Judge.
Mr. Smith, I'll see you no later than than May 13th. But on your new case, it looks like that I'll see you for arraignment. So I'll see you no later than May 13th, but it looks like I'll see you in less than a month. Okay?
Is there a possible that I might be able to get my bond reinstated on the last?
It's Mr. Koch. Talk to Mr. Koch about filing for a bond. If he thinks he can do that ethically, that there's grounds to do that, then he'll do it and he can set it for a hearing.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And to the jail, if you find a place in the next few folks, we'll take a break, okay? Okay. Yes, sir. What's your name?
Brandon Wilkins.
Thanks, Mr. Wilkins. Mr. McKinney.
Judge, I represent Mr. Brandon Wilkins in 24 CF 89. I'm still awaiting discovery from the state. I don't want to ask for a full continuance to May because I'm very hopeful that we can get this worked out for a reduced charge. So I'm going to ask for this to come back on docket day, plea, or continue.
Okay. Mr. Wilkins, I'll see you a week from today, okay?
Yes. Hey, Ken, can I ask a question? Is my attorney going to come see me? Because I haven't seen him yet, and I got to talk to him.
Sir, I don't have any of the discovery for us to go through. That's what I'm trying to get, so that we can go through based on.
I got two different sworn statements from the defendant.
We're not going to talk about those right now in the courtroom, but I know what you're referencing.
He says with a wry smile, so I think that Mr. McKinney knows what you're talking about. If you get the discovery, Mr. McKinney, then you'll see him before Monday. If you don't, then you'll see him on Monday. Is that accurate?
Correct. Mr. Wilkins, I've asked the state for a reduction down to a misdemeanor trespass in your case. Whether that happens or not is completely up to the state attorney's office, but I'm trying to get a hold of the discovery, and we're going to meet either Wednesday or realistically, the way my calendar is going, next Saturday, before we go to court next Monday.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is William Blythe before the court, 23 CF 1937. Sorry, my brain got ahead of my mouth. Your Honor, this case, I was not aware that Mr. Blythe was in jail. I did look over the break and was able to establish that he was booked last night. So in this particular case, I would ask that the court withdraw the capias. Because he has new charges, I'm going to ask to continue this. If we can get those new charges worked out as well, we can always bring him back early. But there's not even an open case yet, so I can't even read the police report to know the allegations. So if we could please just continue this to the May 13th docket in hopes that we can wrap everything together.
Okay. Mr. Blythe, I'll see you no later than May 13th. But if something comes up that Ms. Jacob wants to set a hearing before that date, she can do that, okay?
John, may I say something?
Yes, sir, just
As
know
long
that
as it's
everything's
not-
being recorded.
Sorry, Judge. As long as it's not about your case.
Okay, I just gotta say ma'am, I need to see you as soon as possible. There was an officer that impersonated.
Mr. Blythe, stop. Mr. Blythe, please stop. Mr. Blythe, please stop talking. You are, Mr. Blythe, please stop talking. Please stop talking for a second. You were arrested yesterday evening. There is absolutely no possible way I could have seen you between yesterday evening and being in court this morning. I didn't even know you had been arrested until this afternoon. I don't want you to say anything in reference to your case at all because it is being recorded and the state is here and they will use it against you. So please do not say anything about your cases. I will meet with you as soon as my schedule allows, but I'm not going to give you a date because as soon as I do, something will come up and I won't be able to be there. I will be there as soon as my schedule allows me to meet with you, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
To the jail, good time to stop? Good time
Whatever you want to, Your Honor.
Okay, let's take a 10-minute recess and then we'll come back and continue. Thank you.
All right.